Welcome back to another episode from the Critics Collective. I am Ron, also known as the Dad Panther. Hit the subscribe button. We have been taking this journey with Michael Jackson. At the time I'm recording this, we're in August. If you know, you know. It's a month where a lot of people kind of get around and have a conversation about Michael Jackson, and actually the thing that's pretty cool since the movie took off, and you can see our reviews and conversations on that subject. But we're seeing parties where people are throwing Michael Jackson parties, just new fans, old fans, watching babies and teens and toddlers, everyone in between experience Michael Jackson now as it's just cool to see there's certain artists and certain art forms that just will, whether you want to or not, they're just going to get revitalized and just re-energized through generation after generation. So in this series, we're going to go ahead and make our way. We're not at landing, but if I was a pilot, this is the part where I would say, you know what, I'm getting ready to make our final report approach. The temperature is 72 degrees. It's beautiful outside. I want to say we're getting ready to land soon, but just, we're not, seatbelt's not on yet, but we're almost there. We're going to talk about the third album, which is Music in Me. This album came out in 1973. So you have the first album that we talked about, where that came out in 71. It did feel like Motown. It did feel like the Jacksons could have been in the background doing vocals. It sounded like it was his. But at the same time, it also sounded like the Jackson Five, which there's nothing wrong with that. He's young, and there was some stuff they put together. And then in 72, next year over, you got Ben that comes out. You have the movie. You have that lead single. There's some covers that he does on that album. And that album just, it's still that same thing. Not so much as far as voice changing or him doing anything that we would know for now. And so that album felt, to me, it felt stagnant because it wasn't doing anything different. But like I said, I can understand what Motown's cranking out and everything like that. And one of the songs from that album, I'm gonna play just a little bit. This is from Ben. This is, when I go through these albums, I don't play all the songs, at least not in this series. And I'm just playing the songs that I like. In the comments, you can say, hey, look, I like this. Go back and listen to this. Or you know what? Here's an album that's not necessarily one of Michael's albums as far as what they count for, but it's a compilation. It's good. You should listen. Go ahead, and that way we can have that conversation in the comments. So this is the song that I thought stood out for me that a lot of people don't listen to, I don't think. And this is "What Goes Around Comes Around." Drifted away. Listen to that build up. They be writing on this. Woo. All right, so we'll stop on that. But if you want to hear my conversations on that and other songs from the album Ben, which is Michael's second album, go ahead and check that out. And if you're trying to catch up, you can do the first album as well. We talk about the first album, so you can go ahead and take a look at that. So we're going to go ahead and mosey on down the road, ease on down the road, if you would. And we're going to talk about Music in Me. Now, Music in Me, this was an album that, for whatever reason, just it's really his lowest selling album. This album did not do well. If I didn't grow up in the 70s or anything like that, so I couldn't necessarily say what the reason would be for that. That's not my jam. And I hope you're able to hear that insert for that other song, because I'm still learning and figuring out stuff that we're doing technical wise with the album reviews. But my apologies if you weren't able to hear it. But for Music in Me, again, 1973, this is his lowest selling album for Michael. That's just what it is. They do reuse this on an album. It's a 3-disc album for Hello World, the Motown Solo Collection, which I'm interested in getting it. It has some really good songs and songs I don't think I've ever really heard. It reminds me of the Michael Jackson Ultimate Collection, which I had and I lost, and I don't even want to talk about it. But anyways, it just, if I could look at it from someone who's like listening to it for the first time in a way, kind of, it just visually, you got Mike with a guitar, you know, and it's not something you really know him to play music and be that instrument, because he is an instrument, you know, of himself. The conversation always comes up with Prince and him. They're different, respectfully, both legends, both changed the game, right? Um, but everyone knew like Prince was the type, was, you know, he would play multiple instruments and arrange multiple instruments. And then, you know, he'll go out there and perform. Now, Michael would perform at a higher level and spectacle and entertainment. And you never saw anything like it. And I don't think honestly we'll ever see that, respectfully. Um, but then Michael wasn't the type to play all the instruments or play instruments in general. A lot of times Michael would beatbox or kind of, you know, with his hands and just kind of mimic the sound that he wants the album, and he would surround himself with people to go ahead and put that out. And he linked up with the Teddy Rileys and the Jams and the Quincy Jones and so many Gordys, so many others to create. So they're creative in their own mind. I just feel like with this one, it was like, hey, this is going to be acoustic, and you got to listen to this, and you're going to have to, this is a different kind of Michael. And this album does feel different. And there's a song at the end. Okay. Michael Jackson's Music and me listen to the best songs on his third album. I'm not going to listen to all of them, but there is a song at the end that I just haven't heard on social media. I haven't heard people talking about it, singing about it. And it's just, such a glimpse into the Michael Jackson that we would hear and love. But we love it all, you know, but like, it's that one thing. Now he's 14, around that area at the time of putting out this album. You have the issues with Joe Jackson and the Jacksons and what's going on with their label and other things that are happening, their contracts. And so you're starting to go into what's the inevitable happening. Michael has one more album after this, Forever Michael, which to me is his best solo album. The young Michael. So let's get into it. We're gonna go ahead and play the first song, and first song here is Music and Me.
We've been together for such a long time now. Music and me.
This song just so,
don't care whether,
I don't know,
all our songs rhyme now.
Music and me. I feel like it's a great opening of the album. The sound,
Only know wherever I go, we're as close as two friends can be.
again, the love, the friendship. He sings about it in every album. The world peace that
There have been others,
but never two lovers like music and me. Now the cover art that I'm showing you now, this is when I heard it. This was the album was redone again, and so the font is different. It looks like handwriting for the original. This one was the one I saw from the CD that came out.
in your mind, you will find a world of sweet harmony. Birds of a feather will fly together now. Music and me. Music
Now, you're probably like, well, you might have grown up on this music, or you might have listened to this so many times. Like, what are you talking about? Music and Me is on side B for this album when it came out. So it's like, what are you talking about? Yes, it is the last track on this, but I place, again, I'm just doing my own thing. I place that as a beautiful, warm way to open the album, and we're getting into song number 2, Happy. Oh, good morning, good coffee. Mm-hmm. Let sadness see what happy does. Let a happy be where sadness was. Happy, that's you. Now, this song was penned by 2 people, one of them being Smokey Robinson. And it was a theme from Lady Sings the Blues, which is a tie to Diana Ross. So some people feel how they feel about it, but without Diana Ross, we don't get him in The Wiz as the Scarecrow. We don't get him linking up with Quincy Jones. But there's a reason why she wasn't in the movie. Suspended between time and space, lonely until happy is nothing up in me. Sadness had no choice but to be. And if you haven't seen Lady Sings the Blues, it's a movie. You should go ahead and check that out. It's a biopic of Billie Holiday, a jazz singer, and a really good cast on it. Richard Pryor's in it. Diana Ross is in it. Billy D. Williams, so smooth, he's in it. But yeah, you should check it out. Now, Michael's singing for this doesn't necessarily fit. But like I said, on the albums, maybe it's just a different time. It's not a concept album. You don't hear Michael and the team that was together say, hey, the album's going to tell a story. We didn't really get that until later on, as far as Michael's albums, of a theme. And even now with new music and new artists, they don't necessarily put out a concept album where it's like, hey, we're telling a story. So that's another reason why I mix up the tracks and kind of put them on my own. But we're going to go up again. So what I'm doing is I'm playing it, just if I was a producer, I'm playing it like increasing the tempo and trying to set a tone. The first 2 songs was like Music Me, I'm Happy. And now you're getting this right here. Sunshine, I'm up again, I never let you down. Nothing's ever gonna stop me now. Up again, I never let you down. This sounds so familiar, and I can't put my finger on it. If you know in the comments, do it. But like, excuse me, like what? Like the chorus and the bridge, it sounds like something I've heard in other songs. Not like a Jodeci or something, but I don't know, man. Music and Me as well. I don't know if I've heard that in, maybe it's in the miniseries, the Jackson. Listen. This right here, I feel like I've heard it. I don't know, but yeah, that's kind of just how I write it now. How the original album went, Happy and Up again are on the side A, that first disc, that first side of it.
Nothing's ever gonna stop me now. But can I never let you down? I love you. But can I never let you down? No, no, no. Nothing's ever gonna stop me now.
Nothing's gonna stop me. Now, you can let me know what you think about this song in the comments. But that is one of those songs where I'm like, man, I really like that song. I really like what's going on with that one. And again, this is me pacing and putting this album together. These next two songs is what I think makes the album enjoyable for me. So we're going to go ahead and move into the next one. All the Things You Are. You see how the tempo is getting faster? And the reason why I do that is I just feel like if you're a young artist, as you're getting older, you're trying to showcase, hey, I'm not that kid anymore. And that's how I arrange with these songs. And if you hear it, voice is changing.
You are the angel glow that lights a star. The dearest things I know are what you are. Someday my happy arms will hold you, and someday I'll know that moment divine when all the things you are mine.
Breaking it down, listen. Now, this song has been sung by some really amazing legends. You have Ella Fitzgerald, Barbara Streisand has sung this song. Tony Bennett has sung this song. Tony Martin, Dizzy Gillespie. Judy Garland and Vic Damone. No, I'm joking about the Vic Damone part. Pretty Ricky. Pretty Ricky. And the reason why I believe, if I'm reading this correctly and putting this together, is All the Things You Are was songs written for a musical, Very Warm for May, which came out in 1939. All right. Now this next song I'm going to play. This next song, I believe, is by far the greatest song on this album. I just believe it transitions so well into Forever, Michael. Forever, Michael. Much like thinking about Anthony Hamilton, there's a comma there. Forever, Michael. We will talk about that in another video. But the next song that I'm going to play is a song that it's the song where I just don't understand why more people aren't playing it. It dips into not just soul and R&B. Michael's been on the charts for R&B, but it starts to dip into funk. It starts to dip into disco, at least from my understanding. Again, don't get me wrong, I'm an 80s baby. So I didn't hear any of this right then and there. I got this stuff from my dad and my mom in the the 90s as I was getting older. And it's like, hey, like I said, this was the cover I know of. The other one, I think it was white, like handwriting looking, and it looked kind of squished together. That was the vinyl, that was the album. So this was when the CD came out in the 90s, the early 90s. But this next song I'm going to play is called Euphoria. I haven't heard this on movies or social media or anything like that, but I think it's a groovy track. I think it's groovy. I never said that in my life. I don't think at any point in time. I don't know. I don't know if it's the pattern or the texture on the polo. I don't know what it is, but I feel it's groovy. And we're gonna play this song and then get out of here. But hit the subscribe button, hit it, like, comment for more. Let me know your songs as we go through these albums. Are there other albums you would like me to listen to? There, you may be saying, you know what? I want you to listen to that one singer that sings It's All About That Bass. You may sit there and say, hey, who's your favorite boy band? Is it Backstreet Boys? Is it NSYNC? Are we talking about New Edition, Drew Hill, Jodeci, Boys II Men, BBD? I don't know. But we're going to get into the next song. The next song, and it finishes out, is Euphoria. So let's do it. You hear that bass? Ooh. That's the new word for today. For today. Euphoria. It's very easy to say. Say euphoria, and you feel fine from the start. You can close your eyes and see the world with your heart. Be what you wish, be what you are. What a big same writer for this also penned I Want to Be Where You Are on the Gotta Be album. All of the while, feeling the world standing still. Watch rainbows glow. Rest on a bed of flowers, then touch the star. Anything's in your power. Euphoria, full of vigor and vim. Moving no ills, needing no pills, singing a rock and roll hymn, feeling glorious. Listen to that. Has this Vegas vibe. You can close your eyes and see the world with your heart. How good to be happy and free, living the way that you choose. Healthy and clean, can't understand anyone having the blues. Euphoria, never to feel frustration. How great to give, love without limitation. Euphoria, euphoria, long as we love each other. Euphoria, euphoria, living for one another. Euphoria, euphoria, that's a new word for heaven. Euphoria, euphoria, living in love is heaven. Euphoria. Euphoria. I put together that album, I think, wonderfully. Are there other songs on there that I like? I like Dogging Around on there. With a Child's Heart. Again, Michael keeps the conversation of love and unity and smiling, and he's never let that go from the first album on. If you go back and you listen to songs on the Jackson album, almost every album for the Jackson that's not a greatest hits or a collab has a song about being together and being one and the unity and love and all this other stuff. Not to be perfect, not on a soapbox, but you constantly hear that in his music. And I think a lot of artists kind of turn that off and on, give or take a PR move. So I appreciate you being here as we looked at that. We are going to look at the next album another time, so you have to check out that, and we'll close this up and talk about this final album. Now, for this next album, there's about 5 songs that I picked for Forever Michael, which is his fourth album, and it would be the album we get before we get Off the Wall that just sets everything else up and it changes. So I can't wait to talk about that one and get into that one. Now, in closing, as we get ready for the next album, you're going to get more of his voice changing. Euphoria and All the Things You Are, I feel like you hear that voice change that might have mixed some things up. But that next album, you got the tour happening. You have so many things going on in the back that you have his voice changing. You have music changing. You'll hear me say that as I go through the Michael albums, that he almost feels in a way where he's 1 foot in and 1 foot out the genre, 1 foot to the future, 1 foot in the past, like missing it, because Off the Wall is disco in a sense. There's even a song like burn this disco out, turn this disco out. We're going to put this disco out. Like it's shit's gone. Like let's get one dance. Last count for love. In a way, it's like, hey, this is it, you know? And by the time that comes out, disco has already been gone. It's already going through its transitions and its issues. And then for almost every album, we can argue and say respectfully that it just feels like he was either ahead of the time, or in a way he kind of, because of how his detail of production went, he was kind of behind it, and not in a negative way. But you know, either way, at the end of the day, you could have been anywhere in the world and you chose to be here. Hit the subscribe button. We love you to stay for the other things that we do: television, film, reality shows, and whatnot. It was a pleasure. Until next time.